Hey Rissy, Diana here. Happy holidays to you. I hope you have a really quiet and peaceful season with your loved ones. So since it's the last week of 2017, I thought it would be fitting to do the top 10 of the year. There are some albums in my list which I have already shown, and for them I will not show any needle drops, but link to the respective videos where I've shown them and talked about them in depth. But there are a few ones which are new, which I haven't shown before. This one will come with needle drops as well. First of all, a shout out to Grandma's Handbag, Jean, and since it's festive season, I decided to pour me a glass of whiskey. One of my favorites, Lagavulin 16. So in the tradition of Jean, cheers! So, number 10, Angles 9 Disappeared Behind the Sun. Released in January over Clean Feet Records. This is the third album of the Swedish avant-garde jazz big band, precisely a no-net, which consists of Alexander Setzen on piano, Matthias Dahl on vibraphone, Magnus Bro on trumpet, Goran Kalpius on cornet, Mats Eleklint on trombone, Erik Hekdal on baritone saxophone, Johan Bertling on double bass, Andreas Röhrlen on drums, and Martin Küchen on alto and tenor saxophones. I'm pretty sure I pronounced all names pretty wrong, but well, it's a lot of names, it's a lot of Scandinavian names. Bear with me. The context of the album is actually a pretty serious one. The title of the album, Disappeared Behind the Sun, relates to people being taken away and being brought into solitary confinement without their family and friends knowing of their whereabouts, which happens quite a lot of times in the Middle Eastern parts, from Egypt to Palestine. And so the band brought this topic into a musical context. But the album has also a very joyful and live affirmative tune. It has a lot of great head-nodding compositions, it's highly energetic, it has some African, Middle Eastern and Swedish folk influences. The title track is more melancholic. I'm usually not that much into those big bands, but this one is definitely a sure shot. Angles 9, Disappeared Behind the Sun. Number 9. Sounds of New Soma, like Ambeleza, released of course in 2017 over Tone Zone Records. I've talked about this album before. It's a great neo krautrock, space rock, psychedelic rock album from a German band. And if you want to know more, I will link the video where I've talked about this here. Number 8. Jamie Branch, Fly or Die, released over International Anthem Recordings. Chicago-born, New York-based female trumpeter Jamie Branch has released the most fun free jazz album with great funk tinges and the most badass cover at all. I've talked about this album as well before. I will link the video here. Number 7. Godspeed You, Black Emperor, Luciferian Towers, released over Constellation Records. This is another great post-rock album with great drone vibes of the long active band. It has been in my playlist quite often, and I will link the video where I've talked about it here. Binka and Moses, Journey to Mountain of Forever, released over Gearbox Records, and is easily one of the most beautiful artworks this year. Binker and Moses are a London-based young jazz duo with Binker Golding on tenor saxophone and Moses Boyd on drums. This is the second album they released. They released another terrific album before called Them Once. And this album is a 15-track fantasy voyage. The disc 1 is the 2 LP set, is The Realm of Now, and disc 2 is The Realms of the Infinite. This is just beautiful spiritual jazz with some improvisational pieces, a few modern funk and hip-hop tinges, great drumming, great saxophone play. The first disc is just the two, Binker and Moses, alone, and in the second disc they are joined by Alan Parker on tenor and soprano sax, Byron Wallen on trumpet, Jory Hensley on harp, Sarah V. Kowa on tabla, and Yusuf Days on drums. Which just builds up into a really awesome band. The titles sound like being fantasy chapters with the departure, intoxication from the Yavish Moni leaves, trees on fire, leaving the now behind, the valley of the ultra blacks, gifts from the vibrations of light, the feet of the mountain of forever, and so on. And this is just beautifully done. Here you can see Binker and Moses and the rest of the band. What I love is that the inner sleeves also have kind of like a hand-drawn map. And the beautiful album goes down into the great labels. I love that he's sporting a Led Zeppelin shirt here. If you're into spiritual jazz, this one is highly recommended. Mitchell, Mandala Awakening Part 2, Emerging Worlds. Released over FPE Records. This is just a beautiful avant-garde jazz Afrofuturism piece. This album has been raved about in the VC quite a lot. For example, by Teddy Itzy Buano, who made finally another video. Teddy's back, so yeah, just if you're not familiar with his videos, please check them out because they're just one of the most awesome VC videos you will ever see. And concerning the raves, I will definitely join the choir. This is just a beautiful album. This is basically a science fiction story in musical format. The flutist and composer Nicole Mitchell takes us into a journey into the year 2099, where an old and decaying world is confronted with a new emergent egalitarian society. And the album starts off really sinister. We have some dark and subdued percussion creating some eerie atmosphere which just dissolves when an absolutely freaked out psychedelic fuzz guitar breaks in. And the album continues to be as energetic and wild as the first track. We have some funky and soul parts which meet up with some cosmic jazz and some Afrofuturistic spoken word parts. And this makes the album political and immensely relevant also in the present as well as in this future setting. And yeah, it's a terrific album which is really captivating and highly recommended. Stena, Tack for Kaffet. This is the 2017 album by the Swedish psych-rock group, which I absolutely adore. This album is dedicated to the late members and is great psychedelic rock, really melancholic, organic, and with a great drone tinge. I will link the album where I talk about it here. Number 3. Blameful Eye, This Heart of Our Heart, released over Urban Raves Records. I just cannot rave about this album enough. There were 150 copies made. This is excellent free jazz, spiritual jazz from Sweden. I adore this album. It's played a lot here, and I can't wait for the next release. I will link the Bandcamp link and the album where I've talked about it here, so you can just absorb this beautiful piece of music. Number 2. Why? Moline, released over Joyful Noise and Anticon. I'm still not sure in which category I should put Why. Is it singer-songwriter? Is it indie pop? I don't know. I just can say I absolutely love this album. I love the band. It's one of my all-time favorite bands. This album makes no exception to this, and yeah, I just love Why, and I cannot tell you why. I will link the video here where I talk about it more in depth. And number 1. Father John Misty, Pure Comedy, released over Bella Union. Singer-songwriter. In my review with needledrops, which I will link here, I've talked about that I think that this will be the most important album of the year, and it actually ended up being one of the most played ones as well. I'm pretty sure that in the years to come there will be no album that I will associate with 2017 as much as this, because it has so much relevant content and lyrics, and there's no other album which captures the mood and vibe of 2017 is perfect at this. Really political, really cynical and sarcastic. I know that Father John Misty is not everybody's cup of tea, which is totally fine by me, but I adore his voice, his ideas, his compositions, and the use of instrumentation on this. I know it's a super long album, it's not for everyone, but for me it really hit a nerve, and so it's my number 1. So that's it, that is my top 10 of the year, which is yours. Just let me know in the comments. And I had a great year of getting to know a lot of great music, be it new or old music, visit a lot of great concerts, travel a lot, and get to know a lot of great people here on the WC, which makes me really happy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. What do you think about the albums I've shown? Just leave me something in the comments. See you soon. Bye!